Fixing one track from every Mario Kart in the series. Part 1. BS2 is going to need a lot of visual upgrades since it's been neglected for so long. So let's get started with the overall look and theme of the track. I initially had a bit of a rough time trying to come up with an idea to spice up this track's visual design in a way that felt new and fresh without doing too much and losing its essence. At first, I had the idea to turn it into one giant courtyard based on the section in N64's BC, but that would take away too much from what the course was. I think that would be more of an interesting idea on its own. Maybe a twisted, more difficult version of Peach Gardens. Call it Bowser Garden as a nice parallel, but I'm getting off topic. Instead of trying to force myself to come up with something, I let it sit in my mind to let inspiration come naturally. I was playing through the Heart Rally where you go through the airship fortress early on, and I noticed these very interesting pillar hazards as well as the overall semi-indoor and outdoor feel in the section of the track. I immediately knew this was the design I wanted to go for. So I looked up the top-down view of BS2 and started comparing these two areas on where I would like to make changes. Essentially, I'm going to turn Bowser Castle into a more enclosed version of BS3 from 8 Deluxe, but this is strictly visually. Think of it like the interior of modern Bowser's Castle tracks, but they took only those hallways, plucked them out, and threw them right into the middle of the lava lake. The exterior looks a lot like if those Super Mario Bros. Course clear forts were put together in a line and conjoined. I also want to keep the track very narrow and claustrophobic. Obviously, I'll throw in a bit of compensation because of how many racers there are, but I want the straightaways to feel very threatening during play. Oh, and before I change anything too much, I should mention that the track already has thwomps here. The first big change I'm going to make is to that big B.
There's a B.
After the shortcut, there won't be walls in the two middle pits of lava anymore. Now people can charge jump over them, or fall in, but I know people that like and subscribe to my channel are good at the game, so I'm not worried. The second section will have more coins along the right side of the course, leading towards a boost panel in the corner. Since this route is unnecessarily slower than just taking a tight line through the left side or now jumping across the lava pit, it'll need some kind of incentive for racers to choose it. The boost panel also makes it a bit easier to keep pace with other racers as well. The wall in the center will turn into a pillared railing. This is just tall enough for you to fairly easily wall ride up and grind on, but the main use is for a feather cut. Yep, I'm adding a second, smaller feather cut to this track. I feel like these changes will give the track more fluid turns, even with the weirder layout. This makes it more open-ended with the various ways to approach navigating the section. Visually, the room is very dark with only the light from the holes in the walls from the shortcuts and the faint dim of the lava. And staying on the topic of shortcuts, I'm changing the first feather cut to have off-road at the beginning of the turn. You'll either have to mushroom boost through it or wall right over it. And in place of that dumbass bold white text, there was a jump booster. Wait, chill. I know how we feel about removing this track's biggest feature with the feather only jump cut, but I'm not removing it. If you have a feather item in hand, you can take the jump booster and feather jump on top of the roof of the track. You'll be able to drive a short distance before having to drop into a hole above the second pit of lava to join the